Hello, and welcome back to the Writer Wizard podcast. In today's episode, I will be doing a new movie review for a documentary called What is a Woman? Now, anybody who is familiar with the Daily Wire or with Matt Walsh may have known about this. For those who don't, you probably haven't been on YouTube in a while, because for the past year, maybe even two, the Daily Wire has been like everywhere, and Matt Walsh has been popping up all over social media. I typically do not use social media as much as I should, being an author, and mostly this entire reason this movie exists is one of the very fundamental points. So, the movie, it addresses basically transgender people. It's not an attack, it's a legitimate, serious investigation into being trans. Okay? Now, the movie makes a good point to emphasize, the very many positives and the overwhelming extraneous negatives. Before I go any further, though, I just want to get it out there and let it be known where I stand on this issue. Because I think that's a good place to start. And for me, as an author, honestly, I think I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I think I'm not going to have any subscribers. I also believe that my channel will probably be shut down on YouTube, which is why I'm going to upload this to probably other social media sites, because I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. If you're gay, that's fine. If you're trans, that's fine. You want to call me a name? Go for it. I've been called every name in the book. Being insulted is not something new to me. I'm a writer, and I'm not going to be held back because I dare to speak my mind. Which is really funny, because that is one of the things that these people who are trans claim that they're doing and that they should be allowed to do. So it's okay for them to speak their mind and say what they want to say, but everybody else has to shut up and can't speak. We can't say what the real reality is because, well, it goes against what they say. Even though they're the ones living in a fictional world and we're living in the real world. I made a comment back in 2020. There was a lot of people talking about pronouns, a lot of people getting upset. This is my pronoun. These are my specific pronouns. Why can't people call me by my pronouns? And I started hearing this so much. I started seeing so much coming out about people going, oh, this is what my pronoun should be. Finally, I lost it. I just snapped. And it was on a video for the quartering. I couldn't keep quiet anymore. I couldn't take all this noise about pronouns. And I lost it. I said, okay, If people, I don't care if you're trans or not, if you have a specific pronoun you want to be called, if you want to go that route, why are you getting mad if people don't know them? First off, if you walk up to me saying my pronouns, I'm walking away. As soon as I hear my pronouns, I'm walking the other direction. I don't care what your pronouns are. I'll call you what I want to call you. If you want your pronouns to be known that badly, get them tattooed on your forehead. Don't write them. Don't wear a wristband with it. Don't wear a shirt or a label. Get it tattooed right on your forehead. It's permanent. Everybody can see it. It's not hidden it's not in an indiscreet place. That's how I feel. You want those pronouns? Fine. Now, as far as pronouns go, I believe there are only two sets, male and female pronouns. You are either a he or she. You are a him or a her. You are a man or a woman. I'm not going to use anything but those. There are no other pronouns. You know, a couple of my friends and I at work were talking, and they were talking about the same thing, and I lost it again at work, and I said, I can't believe this is coming up. You know, they, them? That's the dumbest thing. That'd be like me going up to my boss, telling my boss that I believe I'm a they, them, which means there's two of me inside one person, and that I should get double paychecks. If you identify as they, them, or you believe you have split personality, try going to your boss and demanding that you get two paychecks for every day you work. I bet you'll be fired. Or they ain't going to do it. They're not going to give you those two paychecks. You get one paycheck. Only one person is showing up. Doesn't matter how many people are inside you. One person showing up, you're getting one paycheck. That's it. Now, of course, when I mentioned it, it was just a joke. But that's how I feel. I believe there are men and there are women. Now, if you're a man and you transition to a woman, first off, that transition better be flawless. Because if you look at all like a man, I'm still going to call you a man. And if you don't like me not calling you a man or a woman, then you better go back to your doctor and get it fixed. Because if you can't fool me, why should I have to lie about what you are? And no, this is not directly part of this documentary. I'm just explaining my position. I am firm. I am a father with a daughter. And even my daughter, who is very young, she doesn't understand any of this. I asked her, certain questions. Innocent questions. And she's like, why are you asking me this? I don't even understand what you're talking about. So that's fine. I don't want her to understand. I don't want her to know. She's happy being a girl, and she deserves to be happy being a girl. And to say that, well, just because she enjoys things that are enjoyed by boys, that makes her a boy. No, that just makes her a girl. She likes Minecraft. If you've seen her on the channel, you'll see a lot of times she wears Minecraft shirts. Guess what? The only place in Walmart to go get a Minecraft shirt for a little kid is in the boys department. They don't make girl Minecraft shirts. So yes, she wears shirts from the boys department, but only the Minecraft shirts. All the other shirts with Disney princesses come from the girls section. Am I not going to let her have that Minecraft shirt because it's a boy shirt? No. She wants it because she likes Minecraft. Not because she thinks she's a boy, but because she likes Minecraft. If she liked Jurassic Park, which she does, we've recently been reviewing the Jurassic Park movies. Guess what's not in the girls section? Jurassic Park shirts. Even though boys and girls can both like Jurassic Park, boys and girls can like dinosaurs. There was boys and girls in the first Jurassic Park, but they're really only selling the Jurassic Park shirts in the boys section. They're not selling them in the girls section. And that's where I stand on this. As a writer, I have kept quiet because of the fact I have books out there on Amazon I'm trying to sell. My books aren't selling. People aren't buying them. You know, I recently ran a thing past week, no, not this weekend, but the weekend before, where I gave out free ebooks. And I've done this tactic. It's a free promotion that I do every once in a while. You know, I've done things on this channel, and I've kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to offend people. Because I didn't want to push a line where, oh, I have to keep quiet. And I'm done. I feel this way about all of this. I have way worse thoughts. Not bad. Honestly, I believe, a lot of these people should be kicked out of the country. Doctors, teachers, we should not even waste our money putting them in prison. Kick them out. Let them go be some other country's problem. I used to have a friend who said we should put them on an island of their very own. I kind of agree with that because, yes, put them on an island and let them build their perfect utopian society. That would be what would be best for them. They'll be out of our hair, and we won't have to put up with it. But then they're going to make demands on all the other countries. Well, you need to respect us. No, we don't. We kicked you out. We don't want nothing to do with you. That's how I feel about it. I feel we should either be kicking these people out of the country or putting them on an island so they can build a little utopia and see how long it lasts. As well as all the people who feel like, oh, let's defund the police. Let's get rid of all the guns. We'll ship them all out to an island. We'll give them all to other countries who already have those. That was my actual, I want to make people happy. I want people to be happy, So let's send them away. We'll pay for it. We'll give you a plane ticket. We'll take your stuff. We'll box it up. We'll send it to you. We'll even get you a house there. We will get you out. Get you on your feet in another country. Give you enough to get out on your feet in another country. And you can go be that other country's problem. If you don't like it here, leave. Because the mass majority do not want you here. We do not want this issue. But people are afraid. People at the top are afraid of being knocked to the bottom for some strange reason, where going the opposite of Star Trek and worried about the needs of the few over the needs of the many. People need food. People need gas. People need electricity, homes, water. Look, I already said that. But people need a lot more than to worry about trans and gay people. And I think it's quite fitting that this movie came out at the beginning of Pride Month. Because I take a lot of pride in my work. You know, I was so scared of this whole trans movement thing that when I wrote my book, one of the characters I forcibly made a woman just to please the audience. Because I didn't want people to say, oh, well, he didn't put a woman in there. So one of the 12 main characters, which if you read my book, you'll understand what I mean. I was like, well, fine, I'll make it a woman. But then I thought about it the more and more I was going to do it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll make there be a woman, but I'll give it a reason. And she's a straight woman who didn't even take really the credit for the role she played because she's a woman. She let the men take the main reins of the position, and although it was her job, she just kind of stayed in the background. Basically, I'm talking about, my book series, The Guardian of Light. I'm not going to go into detail. If you want to know, you have to read the book. But now that you know a little bit more about my feelings on this whole situation, which I have a lot of feelings about this whole thing, aside from everything I've just said, there's a lot more. What did I think of this documentary? Did this do a good job at delivering the information? Well, yes, a lot of it did. It was really fun to watch because this is becoming more and more of a question. Like, actual people in power, people who are in positions of the government who come across these crazy people are like, yeah, well, what is a woman? Can, the famous female senator asking another, I think it was a woman who was running for some position. She's like, what is a woman? And the person couldn't even answer. Not that they couldn't. Here's the thing. People keep saying, oh, I can't answer. You can. You don't want to answer it. It's not that you cannot answer it. You don't want to answer it because you know that giving the correct answer would completely destroy this whole made up crap system that people are running. And here's the thing, is it really boils down to the subtext, I believe, of the documentary, which is people with the money, people in power, are making money off gullible people who are giving money to change people into things they're not. And that's why we're being told to shut up. It's like, hey, shut up! They're giving us money! You want to ruin that? Are you stupid? And the person's like, well, yeah, I don't want to get money based off a lie. Shut up! It's not a lie. Lots of money, man. We can get all the money. And I think a big part of it is just, it's big companies. They want to make more of those drugs that they're giving to children. They want to perform those expensive surgeries. Then they can bring the price of those surgeries down and say, oh, see, anybody can afford this surgery. It's now so cheap. but they're making bank off it because, I mean, everybody's making more money. It's kind of like what I've been saying about the economy, you know? This whole thing with the economy is stupid because people make more money, but prices go up, so nothing really changes. Except the numbers. I mean, could you imagine if people made more money, what would happen if prices stayed the same? If gas wasn't skyrocketing every day to an insane amount? It would just be, oh, I have more money. Gee, I can afford more things. Wow, I can go out and buy stuff and feed more money through the economy. I mean, maybe that's just a crazy idea on my behalf. That, oh, hey, that's how we could fix the economy, by lowering the price of shit. Sorry for my language, but maybe if we lower the price of shit, people can actually afford to go out and buy more things they really don't need. But because they have so much money now, they could do more with that money. Instead of, oh, hey, yeah, we give you more money, so now we're going to charge more money for shit. Doesn't quite add up. I mean, I know it's a simple, basic thought, but here again, the same thing with this documentary. It's a simple, basic thought. What is a woman? And to say that babies are born gender neutral? How stupid can you be? It's either born with a dick or it's born with a vagina. It's either a boy or a girl. It's genetically a boy or girl. All my life, and I'm pushing up on 40, all my life, I have filled out applications for jobs. 9 times out of 10, it says sex. Male, M or F, which means male or female. Once in a very, very blue moon, instead of sex, it says gender, M/F. Circle 1. Very rarely do I get where it says gender instead of sex, but I have seen that. And like I said, nowhere in there have I ever seen anything but M or F, standing for male or female. Now, honestly, if you don't know much about what's going on in the world, and you want to open your eyes to the truth, and you want to see what all this is, I highly recommend this movie. Definitely go check it out. But I think Matt should have gone just a little bit further with this movie. I think another 20 minutes should be added to this movie to maybe say, where do we go from here? How do we fix this so people can shut up about it? You want to stop us from asking the question? Here's what you need to do. Stop pushing it on children. That's the first thing. Like it's talked about in the, movie, there are people pushing the kids, pretending to be animals in school, and teachers getting fired over not buying into it. Not affirming, not caring to placate a child who is pretending to be an animal. We have schools wanting to put litter boxes in bathrooms for children who identify as cats. I'm sorry. I told my daughter, if you came to me and said you are a cat, I am throwing all your toys, all your stuffed animals, all your games, everything away. I will buy you cat clothes, a collar, a scratch post, and I'll give her tuna, and she can have as much tuna as she wants. She will only get water, maybe once in a blue moon, some milk or cream. I started telling her, as soon as I said I was getting rid of all of her, human stuff, she's like, "Oh, no, 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 Daddy, don't worry. I am a human girl. I am never a cat. I would never say I'm a cat because I know I'm not a cat." I'm like, "Well, I'm glad. That's one thing I don't have to worry about, at least." Because she loves her stuff, her Minecraft shirts, more than pretending she's an animal. And if those parents would do that with their children, I bet you see those children change real quick. But they're not. They're letting these children do, well, whatever they want. So maybe let your children decide what bills you're going to pay. Maybe the parents should let the children run their lives. Give your child access to the family bank account. See how well your family does then. See if you have food on your plate at the end of the month. That's my solution. You want to do it? Fine. Go. Do that. Give everything to your child. Let them decide. Even though you're the parent, let your child decide for you what you should do. Give your child all that power. Now, do I, make my child do everything? No. I give my child options. Some would say I give my child too many options. But I fully aware my child as to what will happen if they make the wrong choice. My daughter has options all the time. And I tell her, this is what happens if you make the wrong choice. I don't know what will happen if you make the right choice, but it'd be interesting to find out. So, what other ways can things like this be fixed? And basically, they talked about, the trans people being in sports, going into public restrooms, like men who claim they're women with no surgery, going into a woman's bathroom. Here's my solution. As far as sports go, fine. Let them play in their own league. You want to have a league? Fine. There will be men's, women's, and after those two, then we'll run the trans league. And anybody who says they're trans can go and play in this league. If you're the only one, I guess you win. But at the same time, here's the thing. There'll be a lot of people for the men's sport, a good amount for the women's sport, and the crickets will be there for the trans sport. That is my solution. If the trans people are so confident in themselves, so sure about themselves, why are they trying to slip into other sports? Have your own leagues, your own baseball teams, your own basketball teams, your own swimming teams, and go play against your own people. Don't try to take away from things that already exist. Because deep down, you're going to get called out, and you knew it. You're going to get called out And it's not going to be a big surprise. So you want to fix this? Fine. Men's sports, women's sports, trans sports. Don't get them confused. Same for bathrooms and prisons and all that other stuff separated by sex. We have men's prisons and we have women's prisons. You want to make a trans prison? Fine. Go make a trans prison. That's perfectly okay. Then anything can happen. That's my solution to that. You want bathrooms? Fine. We have men, women, and neutral. Men's, women's, and trans. And anybody who is in a trans bathroom doesn't even have to be a trans person. People who just don't care. But the women's would be specifically for women. And I feel that's the best solution for that. So, yeah. As for, drugs, well, like I said earlier, it's not going to change because they're giving it to children. They're making too much money off of these crazy parents that can't be full-grown adults and make adult decisions, who want to do things like, I hear stories about this stuff every day. I recently heard a story where, there was this drag show, and there was this little boy who was forced to go to this drag show by the mother. The only reason the mother did that is because she wanted to be famous. She wanted to be propped up. She knew she would make money, and I guarantee somehow she's making money off that. It's just like those little kids who are forced to go to beauty contests and beauty pageants. Well, they don't have those anymore. And so, yeah, this is where we're going. I'm sure they have them somewhere. But I don't hear about them anymore. You don't really hear about this stuff. So I'm pretty sure they're not as, from what I've heard recently, beauty pageants aren't nearly as big anymore. Because of crap like this. There was this big outbreak of people going against Netflix back when Netflix released Cuties. And I saw the trailer. I did not understand at that point in time why was everybody freaking out about this movie. It looked like any teen drama dance-off movie, like cheerleaders and stuff like that. It's dance competition. Like, God, what was it? Bring It On, Step Up, stuff like that. It just seemed like that. And I couldn't understand why people were freaking out. But it's because those kids are so much younger. And our society is losing sight. So, honestly, the best fix for any of this, like I said a while back ago, I think we should just get rid of everybody who's trans, gay, any part of that weird, out of order alphabet. That LBGTYQZRFT9620 ABCs, whatever. That's how I feel. And if you want to call me a name, you want to call me transphobic or whatever the current term is, fine. I guess you won't be subscribing to my channel. Not many people are, but I mean, I have less than 100 right now, so I'm going to keep making content as long as YouTube will let me, but this is just my thoughts, and this is just how I feel as an American male, um, doing the best to raise my daughter in a smart, sane, secure way. And honestly, I cannot wait for the day where I feel we're rapidly approaching where there is going to be some kind of outbreak. And I think the trans community and the gay community are going to be in for a rude awakening, because I think parents more and more are getting sick of their children being targeted by these people. And I think for one of the biggest acts to start off with is that we're going to lose high schools, we're going to lose middle schools, and possibly even elementary schools. I believe schooling will be turned to the future and all be done online. There will be no more public schools in actual buildings. That the parents will want to know, what is my child learning? What is it you are trying to teach my child? Because it's a lot easier to stop them from pursuing them over the internet than to just give your child to someone who essentially is a babysitter for 8 hours out of your day, where you can't see or hear what they're being told. Luckily, I live in a good state where this isn't really as big an issue yet, but we could get there because some of this stuff is making its way here, like the whole cat thing, which I think some kid probably started off with that as a joke, and then it's just taken the joke a little too far. And I think that's how a lot of this starts, and then it becomes something bigger, and then you get people moving here to say, oh, hey, I live here, so yes, you have to listen to that person. But if you have not, please definitely do go check out his video, What is a Woman? Available on the Daily Wire. I wish I had been given a screener for this, and I was allowed to use clips that I know I'm allowed to use clips, but I don't know. I'm just a small channel, so I'm not using clips. So a link to the Daily Wire will be in the description below. I do hope you go check it out. I do hope that it opens your eyes to what is going on in the world. And yeah, it's a good educational movie that I think is going to open your eyes to the way the world is shifting and how it kind of needs to be stopped. And honestly, I cannot wait for Matt to make a sequel, which I'm hoping he calls What is a Man? Even if he doesn't star in it himself and he has a woman going around asking questions about what is a man, I think that would be an excellent idea for a sequel. I'd love to help him with that. I'd love to work with him on that idea. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. If I haven't lost you already by the end of this video, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure to check out some of my other videos. Also, if you like to read, maybe check out my book series, The Guardian of Light. It's available on Amazon and Audible. I'm currently working on book 6. I want to thank you all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.